lava lies hidden beneath it.
It's kind of like you get the best of both worlds here. You get that wilderness of the underground as well as the inviting prairie that just says, come walk across, see what's out here.
To gaze across this infinite expanse of pristine prairie is to see the place where east meets west and mountain meets plain. Unlike any in the world.
What's really significant about this cave, what makes this cave nationally significant, is the incredible complexity of the cave. It's the most complex in the world.
They are two awe-inspiring worlds that are forever linked.
Around 140 miles of surveyed passageways. We're currently up to 167 miles total. So this is a huge cave already. It's currently the 6th longest in the world right here. A little bit of air moving through that door, even with the close. Moving up the cave closest to the surface, again, we're about 110 feet from the surface right here. And when we're in the upper level of the cave, this is kind of what we see, the kind of smooth, kind of domed ceilings. Last top to here, we can already get a little bit of a feel for what it's like to travel through the cave. We went through some kind of smaller passageways that opened up again to a little bit larger. Well, they're usually things that are pretty common in a lot of other caves. We do, though, still get a crystal formation that grows here because that water is seeping its way here. What that water does when it leaves the surface up above us, it still picks up carbon dioxide that's found in the soil, and that's given off by plants that live and die. As they decay, they release that carbon dioxide into the soil. The rock here and water mixes, begins to evaporate, gives off its carbon dioxide, and the dissolved limestone that it brought here recrystallizes. The crystals we now call calcite, and again, that's the same thing that makes up many cave formations that we see. With ours, looks this way because of the water evaporating. I'll let you take the flashlight for a moment and just take a look, a moment to explore up there, and then just hand it back to the person behind you when you're done.
Pointed somewhere.
No, that's okay.
Square honeycomb.
Yep.
This is a map of the cave system that they've mapped so far.
Yeah.
You never noticed that there's actually some shallow boxwork even right on the chart here.
Yep, and it's not quite revealed. It's kind of still in there.
Still in the assembly room.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it sticks out.
Sorry.
Did it find any gold in this one?
Very much. Yeah, first settlers who tried to kind of look over up here, tried to file a money. That's just kind of peeking out through that white limestone right there. But super pretty room in here.
Looks like frost.
Yeah, it does. Does anyone know how caves is making these little tiny white nodules all over this boxwork? And that's cave popcorn.
Looks moist.
It is very moist right here. And we are a quite remarkably dry cave. So this little teeny cave popcorn, those little tiny white balls, is mostly what we get of those big... this is a really pretty crystal right here. This is Dogtooth Spar.
That's pretty.
Just a really pretty pointy calcite crystal. Yeah, this is probably one of the biggest examples that we'll see today of this crystal.
You said this is all mostly limestone?
Yes.
Let's see.
And it was a lot more colorful dark. But in this room, what do we see the difference?
Gray.
Reddish.
Yeah, more kind of red, white,
And reddish and
a lot more smooth. Does anyone notice that?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ceilings are a lot more smooth, kind of plaster looking. That's because we went up into the upper layers of the cave. Obviously, so these aren't his true initials because it would look something more like A, something M. But he liked to write his initials in an old Civil War code. He was
That's
kind
when the light bulb goes out.
of, yeah, when they leave it on all the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, or you turn it on and off because it doesn't.
Brachiopod, he said.
So this is our frostwork edge. So this is a really good example of those really pretty cave popcorn. We'll also see some really nice frostwork over here, if you guys can see that, where the brightest part of my flashlight is. Just those little tiny needle-like formations. Like looking at this up here, super cool. You see that little tiny spiral shell right there?
Oh,
That's a gastropod.
oh.
Looks like a dinosaur to me.
Some say it looks like a tennis court. That's what I kind of think this room looks like. Kind of like a tennis net or like a volleyball net. But it's kind of hard to describe what boxwork looks like because it kind of doesn't look like any of those. And it kind of looks like all of those at the same time.
Do you know what crystal's in there?
Just calcite.
Calcite?
Yep, that's most of the crystals I'd have. Sometimes maybe paint on the walls of the cave. Maybe drill things into it to mark an area where they've been. But now, since we know that that's not very good for the cave, we just leave these little tiny yellow tags. And survey groups are still going into our cave